You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A Hazleton police officer was arrested following an investigation into an explosion early Tuesday morning in Schuylkill County. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has the details.
Hazleton Police Chief Brian Schoonmaker released a statement regarding an arrest following an investigation into an explosive device that went off in front of a Claire's residence on Tuesday morning. An unidentified man had to be taken to the hospital, and nearby buildings and cars were damaged. The Hazleton Police Department was notified that 31-year-old Officer Landell Hannon was the subject of the investigation. According to state police, Hannon allegedly entered that same home at 3 Center Street back on October 28th and stole several items. He was charged with burglary, theft by unlawful taking, and trespassing. Chief Schoonmaker said that Hannon was an upstanding member of the department, and they were shocked to learn about his involvement in the case. He went on to say that HPD was not aware of the October incident in Klein Township, and it wasn't brought to their attention until yesterday. Hannon was suspended without pay and is currently locked up in the Schuylkill County Prison on $300,000 straight cash bail. The chief said that this is an ongoing investigation, and anyone who may have information on either incident is asked to contact State Police in Frackville at 570-874-5300. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. A Hazel Township man died following a crash Saturday night on Route 940. State police say that 49-year-old Dennis Cottle was driving a Suzuki Grand Viatra around 7 Saturday night when he left the roadway, traveled into a parking lot, and struck several parked vehicles. The Luzerne County Coroner's Office pronounced Cottle dead a short time afterwards. Police said that Cottle was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. A report of shots fired led to the arrest of a Hanover Township man. Police were called to the Dundee apartment shortly before 5 Sunday after receiving a call about gunfire. While on scene, officers learned that 31-year-old Marcus Walston fired a shot into the air to let his neighbors know he had a new gun. Police detected a strong odor of marijuana coming from the residence, and Walston consented to an apartment search, where officers seized 3 pounds of marijuana, drug packaging materials, and cash. Walston was charged with possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, use of drug paraphernalia, and reckless endangerment. He was arraigned and posted $10,000 bail through a bondsman. Some still haven't winterized their vehicles to prep for all the classic crazy weather we're about to get here in NEPA. But lucky for you, WYLN's Mackenzie Ocker stopped by Blaze Alexander this morning to get some tips.
Before heading out this winter season, it is important to make sure your car is winterized so it is ready to take on the winter weather over the next few months. We stopped by Blaze Alexander dealership in Hazleton to learn the many aspects on how to winterize your car.
First and easiest would be your washer solvent tank. You want to make sure that that is topped off. You could generally fill it up with washer solvent and get in the 1-gallon bottles. And they usually hold a little bit greater than a gallon, so you want to make sure that that is topped off, and you don't want to dilute it. However, it comes in the bottle, whatever brand you may choose to use. You might you make sure that you use it straight, unless otherwise noted, because you don't want to water it down and have it.
Other fluid levels you should check are ones with yellow markings on them, such as your engine oil, brake fluid, and antifreeze. But most importantly, check your windshield wipers.
Wiper blades themselves, the edge on the blade, you want to make sure it's pliable. It's not torn, it's not jagged, so that it will easily glide across the windshield. And make sure that the connections to the wiper arms are secure, so that it doesn't interfere with the cleaning or the clearing of the windshield.
Last but not least, check to make sure your tires aren't worn out and the tire pressure before heading out in winter weather. Reporting from Blaze Alexander in Hazleton with WYLN, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Wilkes-Barre City Council members will hold meetings remotely through March of 2022. Last night's decision came at the request of the city's health director as the Omicron variant waves drive up COVID case counts across the country. However, council will meet in person on Monday, January 3rd to reorganize and appoint Beth Gilbert McBride, chairwoman, and Mike Velasco, vice chairman. Council also authorized the city to spend a combined $586,858 in American Rescue Plan funds for the police department and a new 23 by 73-foot ice rink to be installed on Public Square. Mayor George Brown said the $55,990 tourism expenditure could be installed in front of the stage as early as next month, pending approval. Skating will be free, but people must bring their own skates. Governor Tom Wolf's once again calling on lawmakers to raise Pennsylvania's minimum wage. 25 states will be increasing minimum wages in 2022, but that does not include Pennsylvania. Two bills were proposed that would increase the state's minimum wage to $12 an hour, with a pathway to $15. Both bills are currently waiting for the House and Senate to take action in order to increase PA's current minimum wage of just $7.25 an hour. Wolf said many of the frontline workers that we called heroes in the early days of the pandemic are now struggling to support their families on hourly wages under $15 an hour. 6 neighboring states already have higher minimum wages, including New Jersey at $13, Delaware at $10.50, and New York at $13.20. A major pharmacy chain plans to shut down dozens of stores in the new year. Officials with Rite said that approximately 63 stores will be closed within the next few months nationwide to save the company around $25 million annually. Rite has 2,500 stores in 19 states, and the closures will make up nearly 2% of that total. Rite said that employees affected by the closings will be given the opportunity to transfer to another location. The demand for at-home COVID-19 testing kits has risen ahead of the holidays, and some retailers have imposed limits on how many you can buy at a time. Walgreens customers will now be limited to just 4 items per purchase, quote, in an effort to help improve inventory, while CVS added a limit of 6 testing kits per purchase. Walmart also announced that its customers are limited to 8 testing kits per online order, and that each store may set its own limits based on local inventory. The Biden administration announced its plans to purchase 500 million at-home COVID tests that'll be free for any American who wants them starting in January. Researchers say that the U.S. can currently conduct about 600 million tests per month, with at-home testing accounting for about half. Coming up on Wyln News, more on the latest salad recall and St. Luke's visitors policy, plus holiday pickups and closures to keep in mind. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Bonomo. I'm 12 years old, and tomorrow's Wyln forecast is partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our Wyln Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the Wyln News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
Fresh Express announced a voluntary recall of certain packaged salad products over listeria concerns. The recall involves salad items with the product codes Z324 through Z350 that were distributed across 19 U.S. states and portions of Canada. The outbreak strain has been tied to at least 10 hospitalizations and 1 death from July 26, 2016 to October 19th of this year across 8 states that include Illinois, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Anyone who has these recalled products should discard them immediately and can call 800-242-5472 for a refund. St. Luke's University Health Network will be limiting visitation to vaccinated individuals only. Under their updated visitor policy, St. Luke's will allow for up to 2 vaccinated visitors, 12 and up, per patient at all of its hospital locations from noon until 8 p.m. Masks are a must at all times, and visitation for COVID-19 positive patients is prohibited, except for those nearing end of life. For patients with cognitive or intellectual disabilities, 1 support person may remain with the patient. Only 1 visitor per patient is permitted for same-day surgeries, procedures, and emergency department, but visitors are not permitted in oncology infusion centers or radiation therapy areas. You can always visit slhn.org/COVID-19 for additional updates and information. The City of Wilkes-Barre corrected its holiday schedule for curbside collections and City Hall. City Hall will be closed on Friday, December 24th for Christmas Eve and Friday, December 31st for New Year's Eve. The Department of Public Works won't be collecting on those days either, so residents in the East End, Parsons, and Miners Mills neighborhoods will have their collections postponed. Plastics, glass, and can recycling and garbage will be pushed to Monday, December 27th, and paper and cardboard recycling and garbage collection will be pushed to Monday, January 3rd. DPW will pick up natural Christmas trees at curbside on the regular collection days from January 10th to the 18th. Decorations in tree bags must be removed, as bagged trees will not be picked up. All PennDOT driver's license and photo centers will be closed in observance of the New Year's holiday. Driver's license and photo centers across the state will be closed on Saturday, January 1st, which includes the Riverfront Office Center in Harrisburg. Customers can still obtain a variety of driver and vehicle products and services 24/7 online through dmv.pa.gov at no additional cost. Motorists can also check conditions on major roadway miles at 511pa.com or by downloading the mobile app. Coming up on Freeland's News Choice, we're talking healthy holiday eating habits on this Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 3. Stay with us. But first, season's greetings from Lisa Marie Halecki.
Hi, I'm Lisa Marie Halecki with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton's Community Engagement Department, and I'd like to wish everyone a healthy and happy holiday season.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
And welcome back to another edition of Wellness Wednesday. Thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today we are on location again at the Hazleton Health and Wellness Center. And today we are going to be talking healthy holiday eating habits with a dietitian, Tony Lynn here. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. So I guess we'll just cut right to it. So what are some tips and tricks to eating healthy, some healthy habits while we're in this holiday season?
Yeah, so while navigating the holidays, I know it can be stressful, definitely, for a lot of people that are trying to stick to their healthy habits, especially like going into the new year. So I kind of thought about probably the top 5 tips that can help you guys the most while navigating the holidays as far as eating goes. The first would definitely be to not skip meals leading up to your holiday dinner. So a lot of people have a tendency to wake up, they skip breakfast, they skip lunch, knowing they have this huge dinner to go to later on. All that does is create you to overindulge later on and kind of scarf down a bunch of food. So the best piece of advice I can give you is to eat your regularly scheduled meals, breakfast, lunch, and then just enjoy your dinner or whenever you eat your holiday dinner. The next tip I would recommend is prioritizing proteins such as meats and vegetables, green vegetables in particular, because they just keep you fuller and prevent you from going for doubles on like the heavier, more calorically dense foods like lasagna, mashed potatoes, all that. So prioritizing meat and vegetables can definitely help. My next tip would be to eat and drink slowly. Not only are the holidays meant to be enjoyed, but not meant to scarf your food down. So make sure you're chewing your food. That's good for your digestion. And studies actually show that it does take your brain like up to 20 minutes to actually recognize that you're full. So if you can eat and drink slow, it'll help you determine when you actually are full.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And as far as drinking goes, So I know I touched on food a little bit, but if you do drink alcohol, it's always a good rule of thumb to alternate between your alcoholic beverage and then a glass of water. Not only will that make sure that you're properly hydrated, but it'll prevent you feeling sluggish in the holiday and the days after. Usually people have vacation days, so you don't want to feel sluggish. It'll prevent all those added sugars like from the holiday beverages catching up with you. And then my last tip would be to make sure you're eating until you're satisfied and not overly stuffed or full. So again, eating and drinking slowly will really help your body determine when you are actually satisfied and then before you become overly stuffed.
And all 5 of these tips also apply to those who are going to multiple holiday festivities, maybe a few in the same day.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So even more reason not to double up on the foods, or, if you go for mashed potatoes, there's no need to do 2 scoops when you're probably going to have mashed potatoes at your next holiday dinner too. So just being mindful and recognizing that a lot of those foods will always be there. Leftovers are a thing. So just one thing at a time and eat and drink slowly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for squeezing us in to give us some dietary tips when it comes to the holidays.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And thank you, everybody watching out there. You heard the tips here first, top 5. Make sure to follow those if you want to at least attempt or work hard to stay healthy during the holiday season, while you're eating, while you're drinking, while you're socializing with family and friends. That's it for Wellness Wednesday. We'll see you next time here on Wyln.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Dr. Kira Weaver is leading the way into part 3 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Dr. Kira Weaver. Dr. Weaver, for those who may not know, can you explain the role you play as emergency medical doctor of Lehigh Valley Health Network? I know we were talking a little bit before when you came in that there's a misconception really about what your title is and what it means.
Yeah, so emergency medicine physician, we're a specialty, like a surgeon, like a family doctor, an internist, a cardiologist. So we have specialized training through our residency, and we sit for actually written and oral boards in that specialty. Our skill set's interesting because we know a little bit about a lot of different things in medicine, but we, really, unlike your cardiologist who spends extensive amount of time knowing the details of, your cardiocirculatory system, we spend more time kind of learning to recognize certain critical illnesses, things that are life-threatening and limb-threatening. And there's a whole vast, array of things in medicine that we're less focused on because of the fact that, we really are focused on resuscitation and not missing, life-threatening illness. Now, so that's one of the misconceptions. Patients come in the emergency department, they may have a more minor complaint. We focus on that complaint, but we look at it from a different perspective sometimes than your family doctor will, because we're going to be looking to see if that minor complaint has some kind of life-threatening component to it. The thing is sometimes patients get frustrated because they really are, that's not necessarily what always the patient's looking for. And we still do treat things like pain, and we do treat minor infections or wounds or things like that. But sometimes patient's gonna need to follow up with their doctor or another specialist to get to the bottom of what's really going on, because we're limited within the emergency department in that sense of what we do.
What changes have you seen in the ER throughout the pandemic?
Obviously one of the most obvious things would be the PPE. You have providers wearing more PPE. That's a big change for me to be in PPE for 8 to 12 hours. Definitely have to hydrate better. You definitely have to kind of keep in mind that you are going to dehydrate running around in a mask and things like that. So that actually kind of changes your workflow a little tiny bit. As regards to being an emergency medicine physician, and I think even our health network, has recognized the importance of keeping patients close to home, that, medical care is important, but also that we've always tried to keep patients in the Hazleton area and their community if we could, but there's more of an emphasis of that now. And because there was such a period of time where patients weren't able to see their family members, or they couldn't have visitors in the hospital. And so we take that into account a lot more now about, keeping patients where their support system is, because that's a very important part of patient care. And so that's, I think, one of the big things we're taking from it. Obviously, if someone has needs beyond what our hospital can care for, we do transfer to our Cedar Crest facility still. But we definitely are looking at medicine from a more holistic experience, because I think that's changed everyone during the pandemic, that period of isolation.
Okay. Check back tomorrow night as Dr. Weaver continues leading the way into part 4 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.